Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and I almost did an exact same video just a few minutes ago, but somebody on Facebook had stated that they bought a PDF file on musical instruments, and these are free files. They're just stock images that if they're not copyrighted, you can use them. And this one's a pretty good size. We could copy this image, go into Corel, right click and paste it into Corel. It'll always put it in the center. And I guarantee it's probably one of these guitars. But that's not really what the video is about. She's already bought it. And I thought I'd show her how to separate this. Now, it's not vector art, so you can't really ungroup it, but you can Control D and make a duplicate of this and move it out of the side and keep that. Now, with this one selected, let's say we want this one guitar right here. With it selected as the key, and you see the boundary tool, because if you don't have it selected, everything else on the other side will disappear. But we'll grab the crop tool and we'll just crop out that guitar and then hit crop. That way, Corel just has to work on this one item. And then I would still go to bitmap and maybe even resample. And it's 300 dots per inch, which is pretty surprising because this whole thing was 300 by 300. But then just take that piece of Clipart and trace it. You're usually going to be under bitmap. Now it's a black and white copy or image, so we don't have to convert it to a bitmap. And then I'm going to use outline trace Clipart. In just a few seconds, it's already done it. Your copy should always be on top. I always take a rectangle and fill it with yellow, and then go to Object and Group or Order and put it back at Page. And you see it's just got a few white parts, which we need to get rid of because they could possibly engrave. And there's actually some yellow, and I'm going to show you how to clean that up. So we're going to go to Object and Group and Ungroup, and we're going to click on this white and get rid of it. And this two dials, now there's actually some gray there we can get rid of. Now it's not perfect. It didn't trace it perfectly. Everything else looks pretty good. And we could go through here and get rid of some of this gray, or you could turn it black. You could select it all and just hit black and make those keys black. But on something like this, it's so easy to left click, right click, and then what you can do is you can draw your own circles about that size, make them perfect. Doesn't matter if it's red. Now this picture's so small that the hairline will look like hairline. Now we're going to need to go to Object and break the curve apart to get rid of these objects. And we can put that dial right on top of that other one. And once you get it on top, if you'll change your nudge factor, I mean, that circle is only 0.03, so we're going to make it 0.001 and just nudge this red circle up. Now that evidently is not enough. 0.01. Nudge that one circle up, get rid of the black circle, and nudge that circle down. Make a duplicate of it, Control D or plus sign, nudge it down, get rid of this, nudge it up. Now in this rectangle, I'm just going to make a rectangle about the size, and let's zoom in here, and we're going to make it square, and then we're going to nudge that out of the way. And then we're going to actually just delete that and then nudge that back. There's a little bit of a hiccup right here I can see. And if you take the shape tool, you can delete that. And then take your shape tool or your smoothing tool if you have X7 and above. Need to make my smoothing tool 0.01 because it's so little of a picture. And just smooth this out. And you can actually smooth out that top part a little bit. Now, take the Smart Fill tool and fill that in. We'll nudge it over a couple times. Then we can left click, right click if you're going to cut it out, or we can fill it with black and take away the outline. Now we missed some of the keys with the Smart Fill or the tuning, but this would be really easy. It's almost better than worrying about something, just to go ahead and just redraw it. And these would be super easy to redraw. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the shape tool this time, and I'm just going to start deleting nodes. I'm just going to delete all this stuff. And then this last two, I'm going to right click and convert them to a line, and then I get a straight line. I might even go ahead and take the smoothing tool, make it a little bit bigger, and then smooth that out a little bit. Then just draw you those keys. Draw you a little bitty circle. You know what, and I'm going to have to actually make this guitar bigger to make it more realistic, because it's only 1/4 of an inch wide. So I'm just going to grab it all, and I'm going to make the guitar quite a bit bigger, and because it'll be so much easier to work on. Now let's move it over here. We don't need that circle anymore. And then you can just draw those keys. You know, draw you a circle, take you a rectangle, and draw you a rectangle. And you could play around, make them perfect, weld that together, rotate it. And there's several ways you could do this. Get it a little even, and then Control D and move it up. And then when you Control the D again, well, it's not working right now. Yeah, there we go. And you can make as many as you want. And, you know, you can, we've got our nudge factor set pretty little. You can nudge them up a little bit. Now, if your guitar was and I would actually probably do this if I was doing it for myself and wanting to actually use this one, there's a way to turn your guitar, you know, at that angle, but we're just going to take it like it is. Maybe click that one back down a little bit. Anyway, and then just take your weld tool is probably going to work, but just take your virtual segment delete key and just delete this line, delete these lines. As long as you don't go off that path. I got pretty lucky there. And then just take your smart fill tool again. I'm going to set it on a black now. And now you have a guitar that is all vector. And if you want to engrave that, or if you want to cut it, make it red, tell it the hairline. You're not probably going to cut that out, but there is a guitar that is ready to go. So the good thing is you still have your PDF file. One, you could save it, but two, because we cropped it, you could take any one of these out. Anyway, I hope that helped them a little bit. Thank you for watching.